The sound of music, the sound of victory, the sound of triumph, the sound of wow! When the Italian anthem and the German anthem, I'll say that again, when the German anthem and the Italian anthem, one after the other, play, a man in a red uniform jumps in the sky and says, "Victory belongs to me." Formula One needed a Ferrari to win. Sebastian Vettel, well done, Ferrari, well driven.
Whoa! Woo! What a splendid drive. I loved the way Vettel, like Schumacher, was conducting the Italian anthem. It's such a beautiful anthem. And I remember back in the days, Schumacher drew a lot of flack by the Prime Minister of Italy for conducting it and showing disrespect. But hey, guess what? Vettel just brought all of Italy a lot of happiness yesterday.
The only thing he didn't get absolutely right was the jump he did on the podium. He was just understeering through it. His left foot just went like haywire.
Some imbalance, not somewhere.
Yes. A little more camber on that one. But the funny part about yesterday was it was a big slap in the face of every F1 pundit, including us.
Yes.
Every Formula One team leader, mechanic, etc., who thought Mercedes will not be beaten this year, and what they were fair and square, outdriven, outbeaten, and out-thought by Ferrari.
Absolutely. Nobody saw this coming, which then leads me to say, let's roll on with our LOL moments.
Let's roll on. Lewis Hamilton.
He never thought he would be beaten after his qualifying session. What do you say?
I don't think so. In fact, of course, Ferrari had the long run pace. Of course, Ferrari was taking care of the tires.
And Mercedes had made note of it as well. But at no point would have Lewis thought that he's going to be having to beat a Vettel on track.
Quick point. Everybody's debating about this. Was the safety car unlucky for them, or were they actually beaten?
I think it's unlucky for them. Vettel benefited from the safety car, like Ferrari have admitted. But hey, guess what? They outthought Mercedes at that point of time.
Well, Nico Rosberg, another lol moment for me. He doesn't even know what's happening. I mean, why was he still slower than Lewis when he had got his tires right?
I have no idea what Nico Rosberg is up to, apart from trying to block and be cheeky, like I keep saying. But yeah, I mean, his innovative ways to try and go quicker, putting a sanitary napkin in his helmet to do so. One of the pit stops, he probably forgot to change the pads as well.
That joke was actually written to us by a girl. But I'm going to just turn around and tell you, just before the race, he actually climbed up the Malaysian Petronas Towers, the Twin Towers. And I believe he was really tired after that, and so he was a little slower than Vettel and Hamilton both. I mean, it's just...
Yeah, he looked off color. Maybe it was that.
And I know he was so grim on the podium, like, oh God, I have another driver to beat now. Oh my word.
And he's a German in red.
But, look at history now. I remember the Multi-21 race and how Vettel was booed on this podium. I mean, yesterday he became demigod. I mean, times and a uniform can change everything.
Yeah. And it's like this, in 2013 everyone booed him, and in 2015 everyone is now looking forward to Vettel fighting the Mercedes. Of course, Vettel would mean Kimi and all of Ferrari as well, so that they bring excitement back to the sport.
I mean, I'm getting a feeling if Vettel does, and I hope he will win championships with Ferrari, he will become now the people's champion. I mean, Red Bull, yes, they gave him a good car, he drove it really well, etc. But, with Ferrari, there is this PR, this liking.
Yeah, of course. It's the most iconic team. But Rishi, you know what? The biggest lol moment for me was all of us fans. I think every single person got their predictions wrong.
Yes, including... The only person who got it right was Helmut Marko.
Really?
Yeah, he said, I knew Seb had the pace to win the race. He had the pace to challenge the Mercedes. In fact, if you see the fact that he's winning with Ferrari so early on, goes to show that it's not only the car, it's also the driver. We gave him a good car, but he knew how to get the best out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. How much money did he win, do you know?
£400 is what is being said.
Oh my God. Yeah.
That's
it seems everyone in Formula One makes money but us.
Okay, the man who makes the most amount of money is Fernando Alonso. Ask me why.
He's also the happiest man on the grid. You tell me why.
Okay.
Because Ferrari is doing well and he's still hoping that McLaren Honda will do better, and their front wing is really working. They've had some breakthrough, but I still don't know why is he happy.
No, the deal is he drives 21 laps and gets paid for
56.
But very bad PR coming their way, because Alonso turned around and said, "Oh, I crashed during pre-season testing because, well, my steering locked." McLaren said something else, and there are two theories, and nobody's buying either of the two theories, and this is really bad for the team. Or is it a dent in the future relationship again.
It's both. I don't understand why McLaren has, not handled this well. Okay. It's typically Ron Dennis. He's saying it's my team, my problem, don't get in, don't interfere. But hey, come on, this is the world of social media. Every single piece of news gets reported in real time. They could have handled this better.
Also, drivers need to know what happened because, they're risking lives. And if there's something wrong with
Lewis Hamilton said that he wants to take a look at Alonso's crash report because everything seems very mysterious, especially because the two people involved are giving contradictory theories.
Very mysterious for Button, who turns around and says, "Oh, we're closing up on other cars and I never thought about it."
That to me is a radio message of the year. And of course, his, since we also talk of facial hair and aerodynamics, his mustache also, Nigel Mansell style is what I'd say, right?
Well, he has a mustache. Fernando Alonso has a beard. They're adding extra weight to the car without even realizing.
Maybe that's the problem, Rishi.
It's not the front wing, it's your facial hair. Buy a Gillette. Of course, they're not sponsoring you anymore.
Yeah.
The other lol moment is when a junior team comes up and beats the senior team. Red Bull, beaten by the Scuderia Toro Rosso, and quite nicely when Verstappen comes up and has some style in his driving, and he's done so well.
Yeah, he seemed like the one driver making all the moves on track. He was really, really good. But you know what, Rishi? The week has been so bad for Red Bull and for Renault. They were out like, a couple washing dirty linen in public, and both of them accusing each other of lying and, not developing and not spending money, etc. But guess what? They are in this marriage for long, at least even though they've, put rumors of quitting. And Renault is not going to have a winning engine till 2016.
Well, the moral of the story is Red Bull needs an engine, not wings. If they have the wings, they should fly, like literally on the track.
Yes, it'll be fun. Imagine Red Bull catching up with a Ferrari and with a Mercedes. Williams won't be allowed to, so leave them aside. But a three-way battle would be fun, Rishi.
It's really nice. Well, Williams might just be fighting with the likes of a Lotus Mercedes, but with only one driver, because Pastor just chooses to crash out every time. Actually, it's not his fault this time. The last two Grand Prix, just like Kimi Raikkonen, he's been really unlucky. He's been hit from behind by some driver. Karma's coming back to him.
But you know what? I know of a driver who's going to gift him a book. A driver called Roberto Meri is going to gift him a book on how to complete a Grand Prix. And Rishi, last one I'm going to read out, the lol moment. Pirelli all these years were accused of manufacturing degrading tires which would burn out in 8, 10, 12, 14 laps. And now we finally know why they have those tires.
Yes, more pit stops, more strategic calls, safety car ruins it for someone, builds it for someone.
But hey, you know what? That is all PR talk. The real story here, Rishi, is they were desperate to be bought out by a Chinese company. They had to show that, listen, our tires
don't last.
But yeah, that's it. We should really, we've laughed enough. And we've laughed on the face of Mercedes, much like Vettel laughed on the face of Mercedes. I think it's time to applaud Sebastian Vettel yet again.
I really like his singing also. He's a good guy,
Yeah, it shows he was so comfortable.
Blue flag, blue flag, blue flag. Like I'm in total control and just blue flag these guys.
The good old Sebastian Vettel, wasn't he? But Rishi, the big difference between Alonso and Vettel in Ferrari, and this is my view of course, is that Vettel is very keen to embrace Michael Schumacher's legacy and build on it. Whereas Alonso joined Ferrari with the view to override the legacy.
I'm not going to deny what you're saying, but if I'm Alonso and if I've beaten Michael on track twice to get championships, I might have that time, that frame of mind. But okay, it's all right.
But look at it this way. All of us got emotional and said, hey, maybe Schumacher is now the Schumacher, and hope Schumacher is seeing this somewhere and smiling, etc. Because it's the whole emotion that involves us with Ferrari. And Alonso never let that emotion get involved out here.
That's exactly why he never got the same goodbyes that even Felipe Massa got.
Yeah, possibly.
But for me, the worst part of the race, and I actually say the race wasn't a good one for me, because Kimi Raikkonen could be up there.
Yeah.
And the reason being, he was stuck at the wrong place in the wrong time during qualifying.
Yeah. Marcus Ericsson, thank you.
Yes, at the start of the race again, he was hit by someone.
It was Marcus Ericsson
again.
Yes.
Yes, so Saubers have actually decided that they will only let one Ferrari drive. and he lost, he was actually behind by 53 seconds. Quick math going for you guys. 23 seconds is what a Malaysian pit stop takes. He lost about 30 seconds on the in lap and his tire burst, and he was anyway stuck behind in 11th position, whatever position. So if not for all of this, he could be well right there with Vettel or ahead of him, because it was his long run pace that was troubling the Mercedes.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you brought it up. But Rishi, just building onto your point, the sport needs a competitive Ferrari. It needs a competitive team to come try and beat Mercedes. And look at it this way. Usually, if you open up the last 3 or 4 podcasts of ours, which I'm hoping all our listeners did as well, we've spoken negative stuff about the sport because we were compelled to, because we were upset, it's boring, there's no money, teams are winding up, teams are threatening to quit, or we were just talking general stuff but not really talking about the race itself.
Yes.
And now suddenly we have so much of sporting banter.
Yes, and the fact that the banter does not include a Mercedes 1-2 is fantastic.
Yes, but do you believe that it is going to be Ferrari versus Mercedes going forward, and it's going to be Vettel versus Hamilton for the championship?
I do not believe so.
I don't like you. Bye bye. See you.
No, but the fact of the matter is, yes, there was a high degradation problem here. Otherwise, the difference in the pace is going to be pretty much what we saw in Australia, or likewise, or a little closer.
That means we're going to get boring again.
I hope not. My heart says no, but my mind says yes. So that's the fight between the heart and the mind.
But Rishi, it is the story of Ferrari versus Mercedes on a consistent basis that will draw more fans to the sport. Now, I know for a fact that everyone who's read the papers and heard on social media and from friends about how interesting Malaysia was, they will tune into the Chinese Grand Prix. And if the Chinese Grand Prix is yet another boring race, boom, we're going to lose those fans. So what the sport needs to deliver is a consistent team versus team battle, and I can tell you, people will tune in.
And I hope that is happening, because a few steps have been taken, an extra engine has been agreed on through the season.
Fans don't care. Just give them wheel-to-wheel racing, guys. Come on.
Yes, one more information coming your way. An additional Friday engine might be in the reckoning, because, well, people want cars to be fit and fine and well tuned, and that can happen only with more running, and that cannot be with limited engines. So, well, another additional few
But
millions.
you know what? You talk of fit and fine. I think Ferrari needs a new tailor, and you can ask me why.
I know, but you should still mention it.
Because Sebastian Vettel badly needs a proper fitting suit.
Oh, he looks like an old man, stooping and stuff.
Yeah, it's like the Mercedes guys have the slim fit overalls.
Very slick, like
Yeah, very like yo man, rapper style. And actually rappers wear it loose, but nevertheless, pardon my ignorance. And Sebastian Vettel has a couple of inches hanging everywhere around. It's like the casual old fit.
I know what that
says.
is.
What
that is
that?
Masa's leftover suit. Alright, we do a few alterations, couple of patches, we're good. Just wear the new white helmet.
But you know what, Rishi? Let's get done with the Ferrari versus Mercedes. We're very happy. Let's not jinx it. Let's make sure and let's pray and hope, like you said, mind versus heart battle, that in China we resume battle. But the one guy who really stood out after all of this, in a Renault engine again, was Max Verstappen.
Yes, brilliant guy. Very, very, very clean with the kind of driving he had. Very mature. Whosoever thought it was too early for him is now getting it in the face.
Yes.
But you know what? He's not even 18, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is exactly why they will not let him get onto the podium till he turns 18 or till he reaches Belgium.
I mean, you can't touch the alcohol,
Yeah,
can you?
absolutely. Can you believe there could very well be a new podium procedure because it will be illegal in every possible country he goes
Yeah,
to?
and he might be given milk.
Or guess what he'll do? He'll take his bottle and just throw it to his father Yoss. He had some drinking problem anyways, right? A couple of years
I
back.
don't think he ever had a drink on the podium though. Here you go. This is what the podium tastes like. Well, Bernie's back. He's had some very strong things to say about what a champion should be and how Lewis is a better, the rapper version.
Bernie said a lot of things again this weekend, but yeah, I'm going to just let you finish that point.
Yes, he said a lot of things, and one of the last things that he said, which according to me is
Bullshit.
well, he said there should be a female F1 championship, which will increase viewership.
I have no idea where does he get these shithole of ideas.
I'm kind of agreeing with him on it. Not because I love women so much, of course I do.
Yeah,
But the
thank
deal
God.
is, most of the sports like cricket, like volleyball, like, even football and all have a separate women's league completely.
Right.
And I don't want women to wait through the years and find their way through men to get into a Formula One car. They should just have a series of their own.
That's a good point. But yes, then that has to be purely for sporting reasons. Bernie wants it for marketing reasons. He's saying get women to race, get Carmen Jorda, who apparently has been looking very hot in Malaysia.
Oh, she does.
Yes. Get people like her to race, and then you'll automatically have more viewers. So his objective and your objective is different. You're far more noble. I'm very thankful.
Thank
yes.
you.
But lastly, let's not sign off without telling what Bernie believes. He believes Lewis Hamilton is a perfect world champion for Formula One. That Alonso, Vettel, Michael Schumacher, they were great ambassadors, but not the ideal world champion. I'm lost of words. I don't know what does he mean?
And I think he's going to come up with a new guideline.
He'll bribe the FIA.
Yeah, he's going to ask FIA to write a guideline on how many autographs the world champion must give, how many tattoos he must have, or how many girlfriends he must change, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Should he have a dog or whatever.
Or dogs in that case. But you know what? This is all because he doesn't want to market the sport because it costs money and effort. He just wants people to do it for him. Thank you very much, Bernie. We are learning how to be lazy from you.
Thank you so much. But we've spoken quite a bit for two lazy people that talk about F1. The Inside Line F1 podcast is going to come back next week. But before next week is this important event in Hyderabad where the Red Bull speed run happens with David Coulthard.
Rishi, I am still waiting for people to call me back to make sure we both get on a plane to go see the speed run live.
Yes, I've seen it in Mumbai live and it was really, really fantastic.
Yeah, you hosted it then. Yeah, now this is your
Hey, finally I get one.
There's only one reason I want to go. Ask me why. They are running a V8 engine. Yeah.
Oh, the sound. I want my ears to get damaged with that
So
sound.
I'll also ask you, if there was a V6 engine and say Red Bull Racing invited you, would you still go?
I would still go because hanging with DC is quite good for my Facebook.
On that note, follow us on Facebook, the Inside Line F1 podcast. We're there.
Yep, and we have our own page. We have our own Twitter handles. It's @Kunal A Shah and @RJ Rishi Kapoor without any spaces. These are.
Yes. Also, we are on YouTube as the Inside Line F1 podcast. We are on Daily Motion. We're on SoundCloud, we're on Mixcloud, we're on Spreaker. Wait, this is bragging for both of us.
I know.
Lastly, we're also on Google Plus. I don't know what it does, but it's crucial to be there for Google reasons.
The question I want to ask you, cheeky one.
Which one?
How's your daily motion?